So now we're at Surf City, a pretty forgettable stage, I have to say, but it's all right. So when you start the little surfing, get past these 4 logs as fast as possible and go to the bottom right, and wait till 4 logs pass you, then pull back, because then the last 2 logs here will be moving at a faster speed. Pretty simple stuff. Now stay to the back and try to hop into that one up, because if you just go off automatically, you won't get it. Now these whirlpool here, I discovered that if you're trapped in a whirlpool and it disappears off the screen, you'll actually survive the whirlpool, because usually they kill you. So stick to the back and just go up and down. And I kind of speed run through this game pretty damn fast, I must say. And I think I just realized that you can actually get points from the Space Invaders. But what you want to get here is a stick from the walker. So kill the walker. This first one takes 2 hits. The second one takes 3 hits, which doesn't really make a whole bit of difference since they're so easy to kill. But you want this stick to make this boss fight go by easier. But just trust me. The speedrunners do this, and most people do this. So when you see these flies, start twitching your way towards the right side. I do this you see me twitching like that? Yeah, that's to get the stick to fall at my feet. So we fight this mini boss, and this is why you need the stick. If you have the stick and you just whip him in the corner and start thrapping him with it, just keep mashing the attack button, and you'll eventually kill this guy. There's a small chance he might break free if you got a slightly bad timing, but also don't time your attacks on whacking him, because he might break free from that. Now right here comes a randomly generated section where these mines are just completely random. There's no real advice I can give you other than to stay from the middle to the top, because apparently the hitbox on the mines when they're on the top or middle, they aren't as precise as the ones on the bottom. And when you finish the second one, fly and go to the middle lane, and I died right there to get that one up. Stay in the middle so you can get on the ramp, and stay in the middle of the screen and stay on the middle lane, and you'll get the one up. And as long as you get that one up, it's okay to die here a few times. But yeah, there's also a chance that these randomly generated mines might sandwich you in a way that you can't get out of it. So just do your best to avoid it, and if you decide to be aggressive, do it to get past the mines, which I somewhat recommend. I only die once here, but normally most people would probably die from just it being unexpected. This last one has 3 mines, and then you're just free. And we're done. Next level. Now we're going to one of the other slow levels. However, this one does have some sort of challenge. It's Karnav's Lair in level 6, where you gotta ride these snakes to another hole in the sky. I don't like this level because it's rather boring. There's 4 sections to this, and this first one has nothing that can kill you. So just to get you into the groove of this game, and just to be like, okay, this is what our gimmick of this level is: riding snakes. You can climb them, and you can step on them. You can just and try not to die. I died once in what was it? Section 3. Okay, now they're bringing the spikes in here, and there's also a warp in the second section if you're really quick and you jump past these spikes and land in the bottom right-hand corner, right there where I was. There will be a warp that advances you 2 levels, and you can pick it if you want to. Oh, here's a little trick right here that I discovered, is that you can actually just dash off the snake and you won't hit the spike, because if you jump, there's a spike on top, so you gotta do like a mini jump. Dodging some spikes. Not too hard. What you want to do is land next to the previous spikes so that you have enough space to move and jump on. Now on this snake right here, stay in the middle and just jump on top of the snake, so you don't have to risk dying by jumping over the spike, the third spike. That's what I found out. And then we clear that one. You only get points by going through the hole, so don't die too much in here. Also, do not stay near the head of the snake, because if you land on the head of the snake and they turn, they'll just throw you off, or you'll just clip right through them. There's also a glitch in this level too if you do that. So wait till the snake's tail comes out, and then jump on there, and do and just hold the jump button to hover past the spikes. I know I die here somewhat soon, so I get to explain it again without worrying too much, but I'll try and explain. Jump past these spikes here. It's not too difficult. It's actually much easier than the previous ones. These 3 snakes come out really, really fast, like a bullet, so be careful. I screw up this jump right here, because my jump didn't have any momentum, so I just landed on the second spike. Alright, so once again, don't stand on the snake's head. And I actually recommend trying to get in the middle where you can just chillax, because that's what I did with the green snake later on. So get on top of it, wait for this next one. You don't have to jump. Wait until it's all the way out. Wait until you see the tail, then jump towards so you get a stretch of land to walk and jump over that spike. Now this snake right here, just stick to the left side and wait until its head comes back up like that, and do a huge leap, and then you'll just grab onto the snake. So stay right in here so you can just chillax a bit. I believe you can actually, if you're on top of the snake, then you can jump past these 3 spikes, but I haven't seen anyone do it, so it's probably not actually possible. Jump on the 3 bullet train snakes. Jump on this really high so you don't get dragged into the spikes, and just avoid those 2. Not too difficult. It's just like the one with the green snake, only not as fast. Now we're in the 4th section, and we are gonna take a shortcut that will make this go by a lot faster, and also not have to go through a really hard section, which is kind of where you have to blindly do a leap of faith. That jump right there to get on the blue snake, you have to wait till the gray snake is all, like, stand on the gray snake as long as possible, and when you can't do it anymore, make a huge leap and pray that you land on the blue snake. Now here's the shortcut right here. Stand on the snake as long as possible, jump and land, and you're out of this level already. So on to the next level. So now we are at Volkmeyer's Infernal, a level that pretty much is pretty cheap because it gives you no warning of any upcoming obstacles, so this does require some trial and error, but I actually kind of like it. It's rather exhilarating, and it's quite fun, although I'm not going to deny the fact that it is rather cheap. Now kill the rats right there, and try not to get knocked off by these rats by killing them really quickly, so you gotta do this twice, so make sure you don't die. Next we got some platformings, and hopefully you get good at this, but I do have advice over here. When the log comes and goes away, start jumping when it goes away from you, so that you actually kind of track or go after, so you kind of like line up with the log. Because I've tried jumping onto them as they approach, and not always successful, and it's always like heart pounding. But when you do it the other way, where you jump after them when they're leaving, it just works. Because when you are fully lined up with the log, just let go of the jump button and you just fall right down. Right here you've got some instant kill enemies, these bullet rats. They die in one hit, but if they hit you, generally most of the time they'll kill you, but you can survive a hit from them. I've actually had it happen twice, so it definitely wasn't a fluke. But I wouldn't recommend it because it's just, you need to get lucky with that. Right here, they got 4 of them. I chose to ram 3 of them and just jump and dodge over them. You can do that too. It's much safer to actually dodge them than to actually fight them head on. Punch a few more rats, and then we get to a fun section of the game where you ride the jets. Not quite as... It's more difficult than Turbo Tunnel, because at least Turbo Tunnel gives you a warning. Now just watch this. Boom, these barriers just come at you. No warning whatsoever. It doesn't tell you even where you're supposed to prepare yourself at, so this is why you are going to probably have some trial and error. But it does go in a pattern, so it's not totally cheap, and it's not random, so that's good. Next, they got these barriers opening up, and then this next part that closes in, so you better be quick and be in the middle of the screen. Rather cheap, but once you get past that, after dying a few times, I assume, you get to this fireball section. This section isn't very difficult, and I don't know why people say it's so, because these fireballs come in intervals of 1 at a time, and not like sets, so it's rather easy to dodge. Now, I recommend staying on the bottom left, but if you stay in the middle, you'll get a 1-up, and I recommend trying to get that, but, and even if they do kind of sandwich you, you can still grab the 1-up. I've had that happen where the fireballs were pretty much guarding the 1-up. Finish that. There's also a 1-up over here, but in this rocket section, there's 4 sections to this. If you stay on the bottom, the rockets that are coming up can't hurt you for some reason, but the ones on top can, so that's why you see me moving away when the top ones are dropping in on you. But there is a small... there's a small chance that the bottom ones can still kill you, even though they're not touching you. But just be careful. But this is the safest way to keep yourself from dying. What is it, the fourth section? Yeah, see, there was a one-up right up there. Sometimes you can't get it because the rockets are in the way, but try to get it if you can. Go through another barrier. Goes in a up-down V-shaped pattern. You pretty much need foreknowledge of this. Barriers open up, go forward, and then go back, and then go forward. Which, why was I taking so long? Now we get to the only part of the stage that is actually fair, because it actually gives you a warning. And I only die once here because I messed up. What you want to do is to stay to the right side of the screen so that you can judge your gaps a lot better to position yourself. Now it does the up and down thing, and then it gives you a pattern going in a V shape, and then it throws a curveball at you over here by going up and then down in a W shape. And at this point, you're supposed to go diagonally down to the left so that you can make that last barrier. I can't believe I died there. I guess I just timed it way too early. But yeah, so once again, going through this, it just introduces you to their gimmick here, where they warn you and just go up and down. Then you got to go in a V shape. Pretty simple stuff. Anyone can do this. Pretty much goes in a W shape. And on that second last one, go down and then boom! You've beaten Volkmeyer's Infernal. Not as difficult, but still relatively cheap. Alright, so now we're in Intruder, Excluder, having probably one of my favorite bosses to fight, and introducing you to the platforming. This game does have quite a bit of variety, and it does. The platforming here is rather deceptively difficult, because the jumping physics in Battletoads is really floaty, and you really need to get used to it here, because if you don't, you're going to have much, much bigger problems later on in the Revolution, the last level, where the platforming is even harder, not so much worse, because the thing worst about it is that you can slip off and try to grab that one-up over there. I choose to wait till the platform gets to me so I can just run off of it. You could do it by jumping off the spring, but I find that somewhat risky, so I don't do that. Oh, and make sure you bring the stick with you, because this will make later sections of this level much easier, especially killing these things. Those things will drain your life if they grab onto you. I get caught by this thing twice. Not so lucky, but try to throw them aside if they grab onto you. And those electric alpha looking head thingies, they can't hurt you if you're ducking underneath them, except for a particular one early on, but after this they can't hurt you. But they do electrocute you for 3 damage, so watch out for that. They gotta time your jump here. This jump is relatively tricky. Not too hard, but sometimes I flub up on it a bit. Get some flies, not too helpful. That smoke right there will kill you instantly, and those fans, you can't destroy it unless you have the stick. Same for that thing on the wall. So I'll show you this right here where I destroyed and make this section a little easier, because if you didn't have the stick with you, you have to time your jump properly, or else it instant kills you. Also, the only reason I was able to ram that thing on the wall is because I had the stick with me. And when you're over here, stay to the left so that even if you accidentally fall down like I did, you'll at least land on the platform. And what you want to do here is make the screen scroll up so you can see what's coming up and not get blindsided by it. Yeah, so this level has 2 one-ups, and we went past the checkpoint a little early on. I don't die in the stage part of this level. I do die at the boss 3 times, which gives me a good opportunity to talk about his attack and show you how lethal they are. Now, these fans kill you in 1 hit by sucking you in and then turning you into a meat grinder, or grinding you into a pulp. There's only 1 fan in this entire game that actually just blows you away, and that jump I did right there was pretty dangerous, I gotta say. When you're jumping into these gaps, jump towards them when they're coming towards you. Don't jump after the hole, because you're almost guaranteed to just like fall in the hole and fall off the stage. And that's what you don't want to do in this game too, because once the ground below you disappears, it has now become a pit. So take your time right here. I get a little impatient and fall off. Sort of. Whew, that was pretty damn close, I must say. So jump up these 4 platforms. But I also got to note, if you jump through these way too fast, you might get stuck at the boss stage and can do nothing but die. So be careful when that happens, or be careful about that. So we fight Robo Manus, my favorite boss. This guy is he's fun to fight. He is a challenge to fight. He has 2 attacks. One where he jumps on you and like crushes you in 1 hit, so be careful of that. And his bullets, which you can duck and avoid. See, I got crushed right there. You can duck and avoid, kill you in 3 shots. They each do 2 damage, so be careful of that. In here I try to juggle him. You can juggle this guy for like the entire boss fight if you're good with dashing, which I am, but sometimes my controller or the game won't register it. Oh, and that arm slam you just saw, this is why you want to do the dash, because sometimes you'll do the arm slam and then this will happen where you knock him back to the ground instantly and he shoots a barrage of bullets at you and you're just guaranteed to die. That fight wasn't too bad. I mean, I lost 3 lives, which is pretty bad, but it's not a big loss. So, next level.